Hey, so I wanted to offer a little bit of practical advice for any budding young entrepreneurs or people just starting out with small businesses or anyone who's currently running a small business. I think on social media, you've got a lot of guys who are jumping off Gulf Streams with coaching businesses telling you, how to make eight figures or what have you. It's just not practical advice for the common man. And a glaring statistic to me is 96% of small businesses never gross over $1 million. And we really need to grow entrepreneurship in this country, and that's really what fuels all the jobs is small business. So when you're starting out in a small business, I think there are a few critical steps that you need to take and a few mistakes that you need to avoid. And some people have to learn this the hard way, and I'm a firm believer in that most entrepreneurs do make the same mistakes and learn from those mistakes the same way, no matter how much someone else tells you not to do it. But that goes without saying. We're still going to say don't make those mistakes. And I've learned some things the hard way over the years, and I think every great entrepreneur also has some stumbles along the way uh, and some difficult times. And so, but I think there are some other things, maybe not relevant to exactly those same mistakes that we can avoid when starting a small business. So I'm going to kind of gloss over if you Google how to start a small business, I think for me, I see the same mistakes being made over and over. It's the same mistakes from being in college for business that I hear from teachers who have been teaching business for 30 years but have never run a small business. And there's so much focus on a business plan. Well, that business plan is all fine and dandy till you get punched in the face and real life hits you, finances hit you, the market changes, the customer demands are different than what you anticipated. And I see so many people write a business plan and it may be a great business and they have good intentions and they're a hardworking person, but they have an idea in their head of what the customer wants, and then the business starts and things are different and they don't adapt or change on the fly. And a lot of being an entrepreneur is being able to adapt immediately to what the customer wants. What It doesn't matter what you think the customer wants, and you can try to create new categories all day long. But if you're selling a product and you're selling more of one thing than you thought, you need to focus on that. We don't want to try to change the customer's minds. Pioneers get slaughtered and settlers prosper. So you don't want to be really in the business of creating new things or categories and trying to re-educate the customer about any given thing. And some of those do work in their home runs, but it's just not a low risk thing. So I'm going to gloss over the business plan. Business plan is great. Write one if you want. I don't write business plans. I write out notes, emails. I have a plan for each day, week, month, but I don't write out a business plan because, in my experience from running 4 or 5 businesses now, the plan is going to change so much. It's going to render that business plan irrelevant probably within 3 months of running the business. That's just my opinion. Every business I've started, I had in my head an idea of what we were going to sell, what we were going to do, and every single business proves to me there's some other facet I did not think of. And it doesn't matter if you pull a team of 10 scientists together to brainstorm these things. The market is dynamic; it's always changing, so you need to be able to adapt on the fly. So when you got your idea in mind of what you want to do, the business plan is great, but it's not necessary. Also, this is absolutely critical. Do not go pull out gobs of money, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to start your business, especially your first business. Start the business with as little money as possible to get your LLC, website, do all the labor yourself. Do not go hire a bunch of people to do anything. You want to know every angle of your business. You want to work all those jobs and you want to save on payroll, especially when you're not cash flowing enough to break even. And don't even plan on making any money from any business for 2, 3, 4 years. Again, that's my opinion. You can pull the money out if you want, but you are going to retard the growth of the business. So don't pull a bunch of money out. Get a loan from a relative if you need to go that route. But once you are cash flowing and you have revenue coming in and you have proven the business, then you can go acquire funds. It's much easier to acquire funds at that point and fund the business with additional capital if you want to grow faster. Now, every time, and especially now, so with interest rates higher, every time you pull out debt, you are ratcheting up the risk of the business. So, especially in an environment like this with higher rates, more expensive money, it's probably wiser to slow down growth a little bit, not pull out debt, and grow more organically than pulling out debt. But the number one thing I see people do wrong is they have an idea in their head of how the business is going to go, what they're going to do, what they're going to sell, and they invest a ton of money in it. The market changes, and they've already burned all that money before they had any cash flow coming in. So once you get cash flow coming in, use that to fund the growth of the business. Take out as little as necessary, just enough to live, have a modest house, sell the expensive house you're in when you're starting a business, and so on. So that is the number one mistake I see, is pulling out too much debt and not adapting quickly to change. So I'm going to do a few more videos on kind of getting off the ground with a small business and some of the things I've learned. So thanks for watching.